are consistent messages every time we get together to talk about Kaizen. And it's people at the center, and it is going to the work. Interfacing with the people who are adding the value, trying to figure out how to make their job easier. But we've got to be on the journey, and we've got to start. And when people ask me, David, what are you worried about? I'm worried about two things. And one of them is, are we getting better fast enough? And the problem we have is that we're good. And good is probably the single biggest hurdle to being great. People and what going to the work and trying new things and how fast we can get better.
You know, how do we get better faster? So if I look at this model, we're good. We're down here, we're running events, continuous improvement events. How do we get to this next level great? And how do we really imagine how we can take a whole project and really flow it?
So what we're going to be doing over the next week and a half or so is running the site through a pilot for one block build to see the minimum time we can introduce between these tasks, from material distribution and pile cap install all the way through module install and support. Looking at this 4 weeks of buffer here plus this first week that we're throwing panels, what we've done is reduce this lag from a week to about half a day, about 4 hours. But we don't have a full understanding of the rocks in the system that are in our way, because we're putting in these safety nets, these buffers here of schedule duration in between task starting.
And over time, we've just added more time between the blocks because we've gotten burnt, right? One trade catches another one. So we add another block.
This pilot is going to put the crews closer together in terms of their start time. If there are roadblocks in terms of crews running into each other, some crews being more or less efficient than others, overproducing or underproducing, we're going to learn a lot from this pilot of what could be holding crews back from performing at a consistent pace together and being able to flow through a project start to finish with the exact right amount of manpower and equipment to get the job done.
Usually we have about a week gap between each task. Here today we've removed that buffer, and so we're starting each crew after another, giving them about a 1 break gap during our standard workday. So during this process we're just trying to see what efficiencies we can capture.
To see these guys come together, one crew after another at staggered time frames, you know, precisely planned out. It is nice to see all these crews together at once. It makes it a lot easier to keep eyes on everybody. You're able to see what the deficiencies are in a timely manner and correct that accordingly.
Everybody work together, and I really like this because my team is behind easy install to pick up trash. Because sometimes my team be over here. I like that I can watch my team at once. I had to go back and forth, make sure my guys keep working. I got feedback from my teams too that say they really like this. They don't have to touch things twice, back and forth, They'll do it at once, move up.
So we have spread it out enough so where the congestion is not is very minimal as far as the machines versus people.
You know, I was kind of skeptical about this whole thing from the beginning, right? But as I see it progress, I'm kind of buying into it a lot more now. You know, like Corey said, just watching everybody work in the close quarters just puts a visual on everything going on at one time.
Our biggest thought in mind whenever we started this was our safety, making sure that all the people are going to be in the right places with no hazards or additional hazards in their way. What we found out is we're able to take good control of this as far as our mechanical movements. You know, machines being in the right spot, not too many extra personnel and equipment's way, and we were able to get this done safely above all.
So here I got one of my crews with me. As you can see, we got these two guys right here. PV support with our guys. They're picking up trash and taking the cardboard edges off these panels. Normally, they're a little bit behind due to weather or, you know, manpower, certain circumstances, whatever they may be. But whenever we can get it going like this, I do think it's more beneficial to everyone. A lot less trash and a lot less support to come back to do later. And everyone can stay on the same page as far as crews moving forward together.
Sí, es bueno. porque ya ellos vienen atrás de uno y el trabajo se ve viendo más limpio. Nosotros vamos trabajando más rápido y ellos vienen ya haciendo la limpieza, ¿ves? Y el trabajo al final se va a ver el campo limpio. No hay que esperar que vengan mañana o pasado y se vaya viendo la suciedad. Y así está bien.
So we just had a quality issue with one of my PV crews right here behind me, and we had to reassess it, had to take them back to the issue. They did not like having to stop their production. They felt like it is slowing them down, and it was out of the normal realms of normal here. You know, they're used to having our fix-it crew come back and kind of baby their fixes and things like that. So when they had to go look at what's wrong and stop and assess it, so now my pedal guys will probably be looking out for my purling guys, making sure they don't leave nothing loose behind. So just kind of being your brother's keeper out here, holding everyone accountable for their mistakes.
We're able to get our crews out here and fix issues as we catch them. Fixes in real time has helped us get our crews up to speed and really get our quality plan in order quicker than it has in the past.
Yeah, I think something that's different is rather than having the crews be a couple blocks ahead and having that lag, you're able to catch systemic issues a little bit earlier. And so rather than having a block or two of rework like you would in a typical schedule with the flow schedule, you have, I don't know, from here to the tree line worth of rework because the lull's up there, as opposed to having a couple blocks. And so it's useful information for the foreman to be able to go back to his guys and say, all right, here's what's happening real time, as opposed to a couple days later when QA happens with a typical schedule.
Comfortable with the change. I was so set on our ways of this is how you do it, A, B, and C, until the lean team came out here. Matt and his team came out here, and you know, I've been here since 2011. Didn't like change. I love it now. So thank you.
Guys out here. This is why it's nice to have the lean guys out on site, because there's always some resistance in the beginning. There's a mindset of, you know, we've always done it this way. This has always worked for us, and there's some discomfort with the shifts, and we certainly had that here as well.
Thank you guys for, I guess, challenging us, right? And here we are, and it's working.
We set the goal to have it done in 5 days. They were in and out of here in 3.5.
Within 4 days, we have completely turned over a good product for the customers behind us.
Yeah, I mean, we're at a point now where we're so confident with what we've been able to do here and think there's a lot of benefits for the group. I'm really proud of everybody here at the Columbia team for being a part of this. If you look at taking what we've learned here, trying to apply that on another project, there's a lot of opportunity. There's schedule opportunity, there's financial opportunity. We saw increases in the quality from having our QC and QA right behind the crews, the crews doing their own fixes, and delivering a finished product to their customer, the next task going through immediately. The second that they're out of the block, it's ready for the next people because it has to be. They're right there.
I'd like to thank the leadership team here at Columbia for really embracing this idea, this lean concept, and really give them kudos for trying.
I think our next step is just taking this project team or a couple of key individuals and really implementing it on a full project. A lot of opportunity to be had. Trade flow, efficiencies, and it'd be awesome to see it happen, see us try it as a group and redefine what's possible.
We should always be comparing ourselves to what's possible. That means we've got to be trying things out in the field every single day to get better. But be humble enough to also recognize we're nowhere near as good as we want to be.